Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something that goes way beyond book formatting, cover design, or even marketing tactics. We're talking about the mental game of self-publishing, the mindset that separates authors who build sustainable careers from those who burn out after one or two books. Think of this video as your strategy guide, a framework for developing the mental tools you need to succeed in this business. And yes, I said business because that's exactly what this is. If you're new here, I'm Frank, and on this channel we break down self-publishing with data-driven strategies and real talk. No fluff, no hype, just what actually works. All right, let's press start. Before we jump into the tactics, let me show you something critical. Look at these stats. Your mindset determines approximately 80% of your results. A poor mindset will sabotage even the perfect strategy. You've probably seen this yourself. Authors with incredible books that never get published, or authors who quit after their first book doesn't become an instant bestseller. Meanwhile, strategy, the tactical stuff we obsess over, that's only about 20%. Don't get me wrong, strategy matters. But if your mindset isn't dialed in, all the keyword research and ad optimization in the world won't save you. So in this guide, we're going to level up the thing that matters most, your mental approach to this business. We're going to acquire 3 critical power-ups that will completely change how you operate. But first, we need to talk about level 1. Level 1 is called the bias to action. And here's the fundamental truth: results equal action. Not planning, not learning, not thinking about it. Action. Look at this visual. 90% of aspiring self-publishers get stuck in the learning zone. They read every book, take every course, join every Facebook group. They're always preparing to publish. But here's the paradox: they never actually do it. Only 10% of people make it to the doing zone. And you know what they get? Access to something infinitely more valuable than another course: market data. Even a book that fails commercially teaches you something valuable. You learn what didn't resonate with readers. You learn about your writing speed, your production costs, your actual versus imagined capabilities. That data is pure gold because now you can iterate, improve, and try again with real information. But a book that never gets published, that teaches you nothing. Zero. It's a learning loop that goes nowhere. The bias to action means you prioritize publishing over perfection. You'd rather have a published book that's good enough than a perfect book that stays on your hard drive forever, because action, not intention, is what creates results. Now, here's the thing: nobody tells you when you start: the plateau. Most self-publishers hit this around books 3 through 7. You've done everything right: decent covers, solid descriptions, maybe even some ads, but the income is still inconsistent. Maybe you're making $100 one month, $300 the next, then back down to $50. This is the plateau, and it's where most people quit. They publish 5 books, feel discouraged, and walk away from the business entirely. And here's the tragedy: they might have been just 2 books away from their first winner. They might have been one more iteration away from figuring out what their readers actually want. The plateau isn't a sign you're failing, it's a sign you're in the middle of the game. You're gathering data, building your catalogue, developing your craft. This is exactly where you're supposed to be. The authors who reach sustainable income, that castle on the right side of the screen, they're not more talented than you. They're not luckier. They just didn't quit during the plateau. They kept publishing, kept iterating, kept moving forward when it felt like nothing was working. So if you're on the plateau right now, I want you to hear this: you're not behind. You're exactly on track. The question is, will you keep going? This brings us to your endurance meter, and this is critical. Most people rely on motivation to keep going. They publish a book, it does well, they feel excited, they write more. Then the next book flops, they feel discouraged, and they stop writing. Their output is entirely dependent on how they feel about their results. But look at this meter. Motivation is fleeting. It runs out fast. Some weeks it's high, other weeks it's completely gone. You cannot build a sustainable publishing business on motivation. Commitment, on the other hand, that's full, that's consistent, that's what actually gets you through the plateau. Commitment means you maintain consistent action regardless of your current results. Bad month, you keep publishing. Good month, you keep publishing. You divorce your emotional state from your outcomes and just focus on the process. Here's how to think about it. Your job isn't to feel motivated. Your job is to publish books, test markets, and gather data. Whether you feel like it or not is irrelevant. That might sound harsh, but it's actually liberating. You're no longer at the mercy of your emotions. You're a professional. All right, let's talk about the speed trap because this one kills more publishing careers than anything else. The speed trap is when you're desperate for quick money, so you start making short-term decisions. You cut corners on editing to publish faster. You chase whatever trend is hot right now, even if it doesn't fit your skill set. You jump from niche to niche, hoping one of them will be your gold mine. Here's the paradox. Trying to go fast actually slows you down. When you're desperate, you make poor decisions. Your quality suffers. You chase trends instead of building a sustainable catalogue, and ultimately you burn out. The antidote is a simple mental shift. Stop chasing fast cash. Start building sustainable income. Stop looking for quick wins. Start building long-term assets. What's a long-term asset? A book that can sell for years, not just weeks. A series that builds reader loyalty. A pen name with a consistent brand. These things take longer to build, yes, but they compound. They get stronger over time. They're still earning you money 3 years from now while you're working on your next project. Fast cash evaporates. Assets compound. Choose assets. Now that we've got the foundation in place, it's time to acquire your power-ups. These are 3 mental tools that will completely change how you approach self-publishing. The first is the solver's wrench, the second is the data compass, and the third is the market lens. Let's break them down one by one, starting with the most important one, the solver's wrench. Power up number 1, the solver's wrench. Here's the mindset shift. Problems are not obstacles preventing your success. Problems are the path to success. Your ability to solve them is your competitive advantage. Think about it. Your book isn't getting clicks. That's not a wall. That's a problem to solve. Maybe it's your cover. Maybe it's your blurb. Maybe it's your targeting. Each variable you test brings you closer to the solution. Your ads aren't converting. That's not failure. That's data. What keywords did you use? What audience did you target? What's your cover communicating versus what your book actually delivers? Every failed test eliminates a wrong answer and points you toward the right one. The authors who quit see problems as signs they're not meant to do this. The authors who succeed see problems as the entire game. Publishing is just problem solving. The better you get at it, the faster you grow. And here's the secret. Problems filter out quitters. That's actually a good thing. Every challenge you solve is one less competitor in your niche. So when you hit a problem, don't think, why is this so hard? Think, good, this means fewer people will make it through. Power up number 2, the data compass. This is the shift from I think this will work to the data shows this works. Look, I get it. You're emotionally invested in your books. You want that dark, brooding cover because it feels right to you. You want that clever, metaphorical title because it sounds sophisticated. But here's the brutal truth. Your personal taste doesn't matter. What matters is what the market responds to. What matters is what actually sells. The data compass protects you from emotional decision making. Instead of asking, do I like this? You ask, what does the data say? What covers are working in your niche right now? What tropes are readers actively searching for? What price points are converting? This doesn't mean you can't be creative. It means you channel your creativity within the constraints of what actually works. You're not painting for yourself, you're painting for your audience. And the only way to know what your audience wants is to look at the data. Test your covers, test your blurbs, test your keywords, and then, and this is critical, believe the data, even when it contradicts your gut feeling, especially when it contradicts your gut feeling. Your intuition is trained on your own preferences. The data reflects what thousands of readers actually buy. Trust the data. Power up number 3, the market lens. This is where a lot of creative people struggle. So I'm going to be blunt. Demand beats ego every single time. The market lens means you find what sells first, then create a competitive product for that market. You don't write the book you want to write and hope the market wants it. You find out what the market is already buying, and then you give them that, but better. I know some of you are thinking, but that's not authentic. I want to write what I'm passionate about. And that's fine if you're doing this as a hobby. But if you want to make money, if you want to build a career, you have to write for the market. Here's the good news. There are thousands of niches. You can almost certainly find a market that overlaps with your interests. Love fantasy? There are a dozen profitable fantasy sub-niches. Love romance? There are hundreds of romance subgenres. The market is big enough that you can find something you enjoy and that sells. But you have to lead with the market. Find what people are actually buying. Look at the bestseller lists. Reverse engineer what's working. Then create your version of that. Your personal taste is irrelevant. The only thing that matters is what people actually want, as demonstrated by their purchasing behavior. Put on the market lens and you'll see opportunities everywhere. All right, one more critical skill before we face the final boss, shielding up for feedback. When you publish, you will receive criticism. It's not a question of if, but when. You'll get one-star reviews. You'll get people saying your book was too short, too long, too slow, too fast. Some of it will be constructive. Most of it will be noise. The resilient mindset separates signal from noise. Signal is useful data. The book promised a mystery but delivered romance. That's signal. Your blurb is misleading. Fix it. I hate the main character. That's noise, unless dozens of people say the same thing. One person's opinion is an outlier. 10 people's opinion is a pattern. Drama is noise. Someone saying you're a terrible writer because they didn't like your subplot. Noise. Someone leaving a one-star review because Amazon shipped it late. Noise. Data is signal. Low click-through rates, signal. High return rates, signal. Consistent complaints about a specific element, signal. Learn from the signal, ignore the noise, and whatever you do, don't take it personally. These are strangers on the internet with opinions about a commercial product. They don't know you. They're not attacking you. They're just reacting to the work. Shield up, filter the feedback, extract what's useful, and move on. Now we come to the final boss, and here's the twist. It's not the market. It's not Amazon. It's not the competition. The final boss is you. Specifically, it's fear, perfectionism, and the impulse to quit when things get hard. Fear tells you your book isn't good enough. Perfectionism tells you it needs one more revision. The impulse to quit tells you it's not worth the effort. These are the enemies. This is the battle. And unlike the other bosses in this game, you don't fight this one once. You fight it over and over. Every single book, every single plateau, every single moment when you're tempted to walk away. The good news, you now have the tools to win. You have the bias to action. You have your 3 power-ups. You know the plateau is normal. You know commitment beats motivation. You know problems are the path. The question is, will you use these tools, or will you let fear, perfectionism, and the impulse to quit win? This is where the video becomes a choose your own adventure. You've just learned the frameworks, you understand the mindset, you have the power-ups. But here's the truth. Knowledge and results are not the same thing. Execution beats knowledge every single time. So right now you have 2 options. Option 1, yes, commit to action. Take these frameworks and actually implement them. Publish your next book with the bias to action. Use the data compass to test your marketing. Apply the market lens to your next project. Shield up for feedback. And most importantly, keep going through the plateau. Option 2, no, stay theoretical. Watch more videos, read more books, keep learning, keep preparing, and ultimately never publish anything. I can't make this choice for you, but I can tell you which one leads to results. What's it going to be? Let's talk about what winning looks like. Sustainable income. That means your books are earning you consistent money month after month, regardless of whether you publish something new. Long-term assets. You have a catalogue of books that compound over time, getting stronger as you add more titles. Catalogue compounding. Each new book brings more readers to your previous books. The system feeds itself. And ultimately financial freedom. The ability to make choices based on what you want to do, not what you have to do to pay bills. This is achievable. It's not a fantasy. There are thousands of self-publishers doing this right now. The difference between them and everyone else, they implemented. They didn't just learn. They executed. They didn't just plan. They published. A book you publish today could be earning you money 5, 10, or even 20 years from now. That's the power of long-term assets. That's the power of this business model, but only if you actually do it. One final truth before we wrap up. The game never ends, it just gets more rewarding. There's no finish line where you suddenly made it and can stop. Self-publishing is a long-term game. You'll always be learning, iterating, improving. There will always be new challenges, new platforms, new opportunities. But that's the fun part. That's what makes this business sustainable. You're never bored. You're always growing. Now, before you press start, I've got something for you. I've created a complete implementation blueprint with every framework we just covered: self-assessment prompts, action planning templates, problem-solving protocols, weekly review systems, the whole thing. It's completely free and it's waiting for you inside our vault. Just click the link in the description below to download it. This way, you can follow the framework step by step without getting lost. No guesswork, no confusion, just clear action steps. And if you found this video helpful, do me a favor, smash that like button and share this with another author who needs to hear it. Someone in your writing community is on the plateau right now thinking about quitting. Send them this video. It might be exactly what they need. Drop a comment below and tell me which power-up resonated most with you. The solver's wrench, the data compass, or the market lens. I read every comment and I want to know what clicked for you. And if you want more self-publishing strategies based on real data, not hype, not theory, but what actually works, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. New videos drop every week. All right, you've got the mindset, you've got the framework, you've got the blueprint. Now go press start. I'll see you in the next one. Keep publishing.